If you're looking to reroll for a character in Wedding Wave, it has to be Verena. She's the most broken character in the entire game by far, and I can't stress how important that is. Let's talk about rerolling in Wedding Wave. Rerolling in Wedding Wave is pretty straightforward. That's because as soon as you log in and you go hit your mail, you're gonna see a bunch of pull appearing just straight up. It should be about 30 to 50 pull. I don't actually know the exact number. Basically, that means that as soon as you unlock the gacha function, you can just go straight for the reroll. If you're not familiar with the process of rerolling, it is basically just making a bunch of new accounts, pulling on the gacha banner as soon as it is available, and then hope for the character that you want drop. And if you didn't get the character you want, you basically just restart, make a new account, and resume. You basically do this to guarantee that the character you want will be in your account, and at the current moment, there are 5 potential reroll targets that you can aim for. Encore, Verena, Kocharo, Lin Yang, and Jin Xie. Know that Yin Lin and Jin Yan are limited characters and therefore you can't really reroll for these characters. So if you're looking to reroll, you should pull on the standard character banner, and if you didn't get the 5-star character in the first 10 pull, you move on to the next account and you'll want to save the beginner banner later. Now something to note is that the beginner banner will guarantee you a 5-star character within your first 50 pull, which is pretty straightforward to get because they are going to be giving away a lot of pull at the beginning of the game. But the second thing to note is that this beginner banner only guarantee you 1 5-star, which means that if you got your 5-star character within the first 10 pull, and even if you finish the remaining 40 pull, you're not going to guarantee a second 5-star in this banner. So as soon as you see a 5-star character drop from this banner, I would move on, and again, I would highly advise you to move on to the weapon banner. Now there are rumors that they're gonna change the beginner banner to be a selectable beginner banner instead, which means instead of a random 5-star, you can select which one you want to aim for, but I think the overall logistic in this still doesn't change. Try to aim for the 5-star characters within the first 10 pull so that you can save the rest of the pull for the weapon banner. The reason why I advise you to save the rest of the pull for the weapon banner is because the weapon banner is 100% guarantee on the weapon you pick. You can pick a 5-star weapon in this banner, and within 80 pull, you're guaranteed to get it 100%. And I'll highly recommend you get the sword because this sword has crit rate stat on it, which is really good, and getting a 5-star weapon with crit rate will greatly boost the power of your characters and it will carry you the entire game. All the sword user in this game is pretty good. You got the main character Rover, which can equip the sword as soon as you get it. You got the Ice DPS Soleha, which is a pretty solid Ice DPS. Yang Yang is a pretty solid Aero Sub DPS, but most importantly, Danji is a sword user. Danji is currently arguably to be the most broken DPS in the game, and if your account get Danji and equip her with the 5-star sword, it will just destroy the entire game. Do you know that the other weapons are not as great? Which doesn't mean you can't go for the other weapon if you decide to play the other archetype specifically, but only the sword as well as the pistols have crit scaling. The other free weapon in this banner, like the Claymore, is actually attack scaling instead. And there are just not that many great users, so therefore the other weapons are not that great. You can still go for them if you are really keen on playing a certain specific characters, but I would highly recommend just pulling for the sword. Of course, there is the pre-register event going on right now that lets you get the 5-star Echo, and if you're making new account over and over, you might lose out on this reward, which is okay. I actually think this here is not that big of a deal. It is something you won't really care about after like a week of playing the game. But the sword, on the other hand, will carry you like throughout like the first month of the game, maybe even longer. So I rather prioritize going for rerolling the sword if you're going for the rerolling route over trying to keep the 1 5-star Echo that don't really matter in like 2 days. Now, for which character to prioritize rerolling for, it is Verena miles ahead of everyone else. Verena is the most broken character in the entire game. You just click E. Yeah, that's it. There's no second part to it. You just do that. When you click E on Verena, it'll give your entire team a 20% attack buff. No string attached. So you just switch to her, click E, switch out. Extremely quick, extremely easy to use. She also builds QTE extremely fast, which additionally gives your entire team more damage buff, but it also heal you. Oh, and she prevents one-hit KO, which could be extremely important for a difficulty 6 boss. This is by far the most broken character in the entire game, and I will foreseeably think this character will carry your entire account or until they decide to Pyro Creeper, which probably won't happen for a little bit. But this character universally fit into every single team. Low commitment, easy to use, easy to build. Bruh, you get the idea. This character is like years ahead of any other characters in this game. Yeah, all the other characters are kind of whatever, so just reroll for the one that appeal to you a little more. So if you're not going for meta, which you would have went for Arena, then you can pick any of these characters to reroll. Kalcharo's a little nicer than all the other characters because he is the best insult electro DPS for now. So you just roll for Kalcharo, you build him that carry your entire early game, save all your pull for Yinlin, who is the best insult electro support, then you get your really solid electro team. This team here is a really incredibly set up and will probably carry you the entire way, but you could also go for the other characters. Encore is a nice fusion main DPS, sub DPS, probably not as strong, and then these two characters are not really that good in my opinion. Keep in mind that these two characters specifically are getting a buff, and if Jinshi end up getting a really nice buff, I think there's an argument to pull for her over Encore, just because support generally maintain higher value. The only reason why Kalcharo is nice to pull for is because Yinlin banner is going to be coming up, so you go for Kalcharo on your reroll, then you pull for Yinlin, and that gives you your best insult electro team and will probably carry you for a long time. And that's really just it. I know people are probably hoping for a more detailed breakdown for each of these characters, but keep in mind that this is mostly a reroll guide, so I wanted to talk about how to reroll, why you should save your pull for the weapon banner, and most importantly, what is the highest priority character to reroll for. So I'm going to be making a separate video covering each of these characters in a more detailed breakdown instead, so subscribe for that video, but that's pretty much it for this video. I'm going to cut the video before there's an ad break, so goodbye, bye.